Hello. Hello. Welcome. We'll be getting started momentarily. So make yourself comfortable, get ready. Really excited about this hangout that's coming. So we'll be starting momentarily. Hey there, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to hashtag Help Series. I'm your host, Charvette Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining us here on this live stream Google Hangout. We will be starting promptly at 8 Eastern at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be ending promptly at 8 p.m. Eastern. So really glad to have you here. This session is Help. I need a website. What can I do in the meantime? And so excited to have you today. If you want to hang out in the chat room on the actual page you're on, the screen you're on, there is a blue button that should say launch the chat room in a new window. So you're welcome to hang out there in the chat room with the other participants, or you're welcome just to pay attention to the hangout. So thank you so much. We'll be getting started promptly. Hey there, welcome. We'll be getting started promptly at 7:30 p.m. We're 3 minutes away from hashtag Help Series. I'm Charvette Mitchell, your host, and I'm excited to have you joining. So we're just getting started. We're counting down. We're counting down. Feel free to join us in the chat room if you want to hang out with us there. Feel free to hang out with us there in the chat room. I always feel like I should sing or dance or do something during this time while we're waiting to get started. But really excited to have all of you that are joining us tonight. And I am really excited to give you some tools and tips that will help you if you're saying, wow, I need a website. What can I do in the meantime? Well, you will walk away with some options. That is guaranteed. You will walk away with some options tonight. All right, we are 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go live. Let me check in the chat room, hang out and see what's going on. Hey there. Thank you. Thank you. Those that are hanging out with us in the chat room, just type in the reply. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are glad to have you tonight. Just 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away from going live. So I'm just maneuvering around here on my desktop to make sure I've got everything ready. I'm going to actually show you a couple of sites tonight with the screen share feature in Google Hangout. So if you were on the last Hangout, we didn't use that feature, but we're going to use that feature tonight. So, all right, 1 minute away. No, I cannot sing. Someone from the chat room. All right. Okay, we're 1 minute from going live. I have my phone. Make sure I put it on silent and on vibrate and all that good stuff. Hey there, welcome. We'll be starting in just 1 minute. Making sure my phone doesn't ring while we're on our session. All right, we are ready to get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hashtag Help Series. I am your host, Charvette Mitchell, and I'm really excited to have you joining us for this session. And the topic for this session is help. I need a website. What can I do in the meantime? So I guarantee you will walk away from this session with some tools, some tips, or strategies that you can use to help establish your web presence. So for those of you that are new to me, I am Charvette Mitchell, and I am a web designer. My company is Mitchell Productions, LLC. I'm also a social media coach, and I host a weekly internet radio show. It's a talk show, the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. So I'm really excited to have you all here. So let's go ahead and jump right on in and talk about our discussion. So the things that we'll be covering tonight on this Google Hangout Live, this is me live on the air. We're going to talk about why a web presence is important. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons of free websites. And then I'm going to give you 3 tools, strategies, or tips that I think that you can leverage if you say I have nothing at all and I know I need a website. Where at least can I start the process that's either free or very low and economical? So let's go ahead and jump right on in. So first thing I want to talk about is why you need your own web presence, why you need your own space on the web. I said earlier this week I was on a radio show, big shout out to Spiritual Food Radio. I was on there and we were talking about websites, and I mentioned that you really need your own site because the web is so accessible now, and consumers expect you to be on the web. They expect you to have a website. In particular, if you're offering a product or a service, the expectation is that they can look you up and they can find you. We're dealing with a lot of informed consumers. They like to check things out before they do any type of purchase or product or service. They want to check you out. So the expectation is that you have a website. That's for organizations, not-for-profits, ministries, businesses, anyone offering a product or service. It's the expectation that you have a website. Now let me talk about accessibility for a minute. And I was saying earlier this week that you have 12-year-olds with iPhones. And so with social media, with web people being accessible and having the web at their fingertips, they're on the web more. So you want to be where your potential customers and your potential supporters are. You want to be there. And so some people will say, well, I have a website, I have a web page on Facebook. Well, let me just clarify. You have a profile page on Facebook, but that is not your website. That's Mr. Zuckerberg's website. And now he has been so gracious to us to allow us to build relationships, nurture relationships, connect with consumers and customers and supporters on Facebook. But that's his website. That's actually not your website. So now I do want to say social media is critically important to help you, but it's more of the icing on the cake. It's more the paint on the outside of the house. It's more of the curb appeal, but the house is your website. You want to have a place where you can fully show people and showcase what you have to offer, what your organization has to offer, what your ministry has to offer, your products and services, and you got to do that with your own website. So that's why you need your own space on the web. So let me talk now about free websites. Let's chat about free websites. So if you go to Google right now, you could Google free website, and you'll get a list of companies that offer free sites. Well, pros and cons to everything in life, right? So let's talk about the pros for free websites. Number one, it's free, so you have no out-of-pocket expense, and so that may work for your budget where you are right now. Another pro that I find for the free websites is that it gets you thinking about what you want in your site. It gets you thinking about your services. Are you able to articulate what services you offer? Do you have a bio? Do you have your bio together? What's my contact information? Am I going to use a P.O. box? Am I going to use a street address? What's my email? So what I like about free websites and those that are using free websites, first of all, let me give you a kudos, thumbs up, because at least you have tried to establish some web presence, is that it gets you thinking in the mindset and you start pulling together information. So that's really step number one, because sometimes people will come into the web design process and they haven't really thought about what services, what they want to offer, and all that good stuff. So it gets you thinking in that way. Kind of like, I guess, a renter to a homeowner. If you rent a house, you kind of start thinking about, I've got lawn care, I have to worry about the driveway when it snows and all that kind of, all those kinds of things, so that it helps you get prepared for home ownership. So I kind of liken it to that. Let's see here. Other pros for free websites, again, it helps you to at least establish web presence. So you don't have that awkward moment when someone asks, what's your website? You know, you can give them a website, you know, or do you have a website? You don't have that awkwardness because you have at least established something that you can, you know, share with people. So let me talk about the cons. Let me talk about perhaps the things that aren't so good about free websites. So number one, the services that are offering free websites, they see it as a win-win situation. It's a win for you because you get to have a website on their platform. It's a win for them because typically your site will say somewhere, this is free by some so-and-so company, or this is offered free by XYZ company. So you're promoting that company. Also with free websites, typically the web address, so what you type into your browser to look up a website, that's called a web address, or it's also called a domain name. In general, if you're using a free site, the domain name starts with that company's information, not your information. It starts with that company's information, and then you get to add your information on the end, which oftentimes makes it out for a long web address if you are using the free sites. I'll give you a prime example. I just worked with a young lady where she started out with a free site, and then she came to me and said, I just kind of put something up to get started, but it's really not professional. I have a book out. I'm getting ready to release a spoken word CD, so I need something more polished. So the good news is she at least had some information on her site I could use, but in our conversation, you know, I said, well, what's your web address? And the web address was so long, she was like, I can't even, she was like, I'm gonna just have to email you because it's so long, I can't even tell you over the phone what the web address is. It doesn't come up in Google, so I'll just email you. So just be cautious if you are using a free site as an option, that be conscious that the web address may be long, and it's also going to brand that company versus branding your company. But listen, I want to give you a tip. Let me take a sidebar right here. There's a way you can fix that. So what you want to do is you want to purchase your own domain name. Purchase your own domain name. Now remember, I said the domain is the web address. It's the www.joincharvette.com. That's how you got signed up for this training session, this Google Hangout. Or my main website for web design, which you're on right now watching the Google Hangout from, is mitchell-productions.com. So those are web addresses. You can purchase your own domain name, ladies and gentlemen, for like $15 a year, and sometimes less than that. Have you heard of the company GoDaddy? GoDaddy.com, and a lot of times they will run specials for $2.95, $6.95. So at the most, you're going to pay about $15 once a year. You pay it once a year, and that secures your domain name. So at the least, one quick upgrade you can do if you're using a free site, or you choose to use one of those free sites that are out there if you Google it, make sure you at least get your own domain name, so that when you have to tell people about your website, or also Google and all that good stuff, it's branding you, it's branding your business, it's branding your organization, your ministry, or what have you. So that's a quick tip for you about domain names. Always get your own domain name. All right, some other cons you want to think about if you're using free websites. The other things you want to think about, sometimes they will have banner ads. I see now if you go through GoDaddy and you get a free website, they're going to have banner ads, Google ads across the top. It's going to say it's free from GoDaddy. And that doesn't really look well to have a lot of banner ads across the top of your site. And remember, people, if they click on those banner ads and purchase something, GoDaddy or that company gets the money. You don't get the money for that. So you're in essence advertising for them free. But there is a quick fix. If you are on GoDaddy and you have one of those free sites through them, you can pay like $4.99 a month, and that gets rid of the banner ads, and you have like at least a clean slate. So that's a tip right there. And again, it's $4.99 a month. If you're using GoDaddy, you have one of those free sites, and they've got all these banner ads, you can clean that up. The other thing I want to mention potentially about sites that call themselves free websites is that there may be hidden costs. So some companies will design the site free, but you have a monthly charge. And quite honestly, the monthly charge may end up being what you would pay a web designer over the course of a certain amount of time anyway. So anyway, those are just some things to think about if you choose to use a free website or free service. All right, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about my suggestions and my tips. I have 3 strategies for you of what I recommend you do if you're saying, help, I don't have a website, what can I do in the meantime? So I have 3 strategies for you I want to share right now. The first strategy, the first tip, if you are on a site currently, so let's say you are a part of an organization, you are an author. Let me take an example. I'll go through a couple of examples for you. So let's say you are an author and you're on, your publisher has a site. Your publisher has a site about all the books, all the authors that they support. They may have an author page for you that has your picture, your bio, your book cover, how to purchase the book. Maybe you can purchase the book on their site or what have you. So there's a page on their site that's about you. Here's a trick. What you can do is buy your own domain name, which remember I said is $15 once a year, and you might get it cheaper than that. And then you can tell that domain name, okay, whenever someone types in joinsharvette.com, forward them to this page on this site. So that's a trick that you can use. Let's say you're an artist and your record label has a website and you have a profile page on that site. You can buy your own domain name and have it forward to that profile page on your publisher's site. You may be a pastor and you are saying, okay, my church has a website for the church, but I'm actually doing more seminars, speaking, myself, and people are asking for information specifically about me. You could use the About the Pastor page on your church website, get your own domain name, pastorsoandso.com, and then when people type that in, it directs them directly to that page that's about you. So that's one of the tips, one of the tricks that I recommend. Again, this will alleviate that embarrassment, that anxiety of people asking you for your website and you don't have one. Also, it will help you establish some web presence within Google, because if you have your own domain name, that'll help tie back to you if people are searching for you. And it's a quick, easy way to really get people to know about you, and it's a direct way, because when you give them that web address or that URL, it's going to go directly to that page. They're not going to have to look around the site try to figure out where you are or where your profile page is, because it's going to go directly to your profile. So that's tip number 1. All right, so let's talk about tip number 2. Tip number 2 is a site called about.me. About, the word about.me. This is one of the, I won't say best kept secrets, but I think it's a really great option. About.me is a site, it's a one-page site, and it is focused on you. So this is perfect for speakers, consultants, business consultants, coaches, anyone where your product and service is focused on you delivering something. About.me, and I'm going to take you to that site so you get to see it, and you can actually see my page. It's great because it's a one-page site. And the focus of the site, you will see, is a picture. It's very picture-based, which is on trend for a lot of web design. You'll see a lot of websites using a lot of big pictures across the banners, big pictures across the background. So it'll make you look fresh and new, and it's free to set up a page. You have your bio. It's very simple. So for those of you that are saying, I'm not tech savvy, I can't do all of this, it's very simple to set up. About.me, you can set up a free page. You basically need a good picture. Now, I'm hoping you at least have some good pictures. That's a whole nother Google Hangout right there, but we're not going to tackle that tonight. So I hope you have some good pictures and your bio, and it'll allow you to have your contact information, and that's that. So about.me, like mine is about.me /Charvette. And when you go there, you'll see my page. So let's do this right now. I am going to share my screen with the wonderful technology through Google Hangout. I am going to share my screen, and we're going to do that right now so that you can take a look. All right, so let's see. Well, look, first we're in the chat room. Let's see here. All right, great. Welcome to our chatters. Hey there. Okay, so you should be seeing about.me /Charvette. Okay, one-page site. You see there's my picture there. Now I have my picture going across repeat, but you could have just the picture on one side. My name very clearly. You can put a header or a headline here. And in this case, I'm directing them to my radio show page. I've got a quick bio listed here. Scroll down, you're able to put in some links. Where I'm located, information is here. And then links to where else you can connect with me. I'm on Twitter. That's my blog site. That's my YouTube, Facebook. And then I also have the option of putting other websites here. So these are my two other websites. Charvette.com is for the radio show, and Mitchell-Productions.com is for social media and web design. Very simple. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that you can do. This is something that you can put together to give yourself, establish yourself as a web page, a website. So you don't have to be nervous about saying, I don't have a website. Now let's look at a couple other examples. Let me scoot down here. Let's see here. Let's look at this gentleman. Mike, okay, he's an event producer, he's an entrepreneur, he's a writer. You can see his page is very simple. He has one page, a short bio here, and he has some connections of where you can connect with him. So very, very simple. Now let's take a look at another one that may not be as simple. Okay, let's look at this gentleman right here. So his is a little bit more detailed. Now, I want to mention that this background image you're seeing, he probably had done with a graphic artist. So that's something that he probably had to have created. But he just loaded a picture back here. He even added a quick video, and he has his bio information, and notice his picture doesn't move. He has his bio information. And then you can see he's in Georgia, he's got contact information, all the places to contact him, and then more links. And there you have it. So you can see, about.me is a great option for you. Now, what I will say with about.me is you want to get yourself a little bit more branded, because notice the web address is about.me /Charvette. That's my web address. Well, since I have two other websites, I wasn't that concerned about having my own web address, since I have other sites. But for you, if you don't have anything, you have two options. As I mentioned before, you can get your own domain name, purchase it on GoDaddy.com. I also recommend iPower.com, and then you would put in this web address and say, whenever someone types in my web address, forward them here, and then you'll land here. Your other option on about.me is that you can actually sign up with them, they have a service. It's about $4 a month. And when you sign up, you have the option of removing all of this about.me, like this gets removed, and you also get your own domain name. So you have a free option, and you also have a live option. All right, so I'm getting a message that you don't see any picture, so let me come back here to make sure you see me. I'm sorry. Hopefully you saw the presentation. If not, I'm sorry, Google Hangout might have acted up. So again, second tip, about.me. About.me is what you want to use to establish a one-page site. It doesn't say free anywhere on that page. It does have an element of social media in the sense that you can like other people's pages, but it doesn't have like comment sections and share pages and share links and all of that. People just can like your profile and that's it. But I see a lot of people using about.me, and so I highly recommend it. All right, are you ready for the second tip? Let's keep it moving. All right, so the third tip is blogger.com. So the first tip was, if you're on someone's site already, a part of an organization site, you buy your own domain name and you forward them to that profile page on that site. The second tip was about.me. Now the third tip is blogger.com. Blogger.com is great. Blogger.com will allow you to have a blog site, but they take it a step further. They take it a step further because you can add pages to this blog site. So you can have what looks like a website. What I like about blogger.com, blogger.com, is that it's owned by Google. Ladies and gentlemen, Google is the top search engine. So if you're concerned about people finding you, finding out about you, why not use a platform that is owned by Google? Because they're going to list their stuff higher in the search engines than they list other people's sites. So blogger.com is an option that you want to use. Just like YouTube, Google owns YouTube. I hope you knew that. Google owns YouTube, so that's why YouTube is high in the search engines. When you're searching for things, they always pop up with videos as well. So blogger.com will allow you, the first page looks like a blog. Now let me pause, because some of you may be saying, what is a blog? And I don't know anything about that. Very simply put, in the old days, a blog was about doing an online journal. You would go in and type your thoughts and your feelings, for that day, and then you move on to the next day or whenever you want to blog again. But nowadays, people are using it for articles, to share information about your business, your organization. So it's very quick articles. You can put a flyer, you can put a picture in the blog, but that's going to be on your home page. The next few pages that you add are totally up to you. So you can add an About Me page. You could add, these are the services we offer. Here's how to contact us. And guess what? If you're selling something, you can even add PayPal buttons to sell from blogger.com. Again, blogger.com is free to use, no strings attached. It doesn't say free anywhere. It has a good amount of design elements, so it's very simple. When you go to blogger.com, it'll ask for the title. What do you want the title of your blog to be? What web address do you want? And pick a template, and then you can start from there. So it has a lot of good options for you from a design standpoint, but the key thing is that it allows you to add pages versus some other options that may not allow you to do that. So I highly recommend blogger.com as my third tip for you. Now, I will say, again, as I mentioned before, the web address is not going to have just your information in it. It's going to have their information in it. But you have two options. Within Blogger, you can get your own custom domain. It's like $9.99 a year. So, that's pennies. You can do that. Because remember, you want to invest in yourself. You don't want to ask people to make investments in you and your products and your services, and you haven't made an investment in yourself. Just think about that for a second. Okay. And so you also can do the option of, if you purchase your domain name at GoDaddy or iPower.com or some other site, you can do the same technique of that trick that I told you of forwarding whatever web address you get from blogger.com, connecting that to your domain name. When people type in your domain name, they end up on your blog site. So there you have it. So tonight, you can walk away with doing one of those three things. Now, the first one may not necessarily apply if you're not on someone's site already, but About.me, you definitely can walk away and do right now, or Blogger.com, you definitely can walk away and do that right now. Now, some of you may say, you may get into those sites and say, I still feel like this is a little more technical, or I've gotten halfway through and it looks kind of like what I want, but I need some help. I do offer services where I can either coach you or offer services to help you complete the work. So just visit Mitchell-Productions.com, and you're actually on Mitchell-Productions.com right now, so you can click on home and services page and all that. Good stuff. So let me go over to the chat room. Great. Thank you. All right, thank you for those that shared in the chat room the link. And I'm sorry no picture showed up, but hopefully when you're able to go into About.me and Blogger.com, it'll make sense to you what you see. All right, and I don't know why it was a black screen. Okay, technology, what you gonna do? Okay, great. Thank you so much for all those that are hanging out with us in the chat room. Oh, so I want to let you know about upcoming hashtag help series. So I'm really excited. We're 5 minutes away from ending. I'm really excited about the next session that's going to be offered in hashtag help series, and it's around graphics. Every time I have trained or coached or taught on how to make my own Facebook cover, how to make your own Twitter cover, how do you make Facebook images, how do I make an image for my blog or my website? Hey, I just need to do a quick flyer for my nonprofit or a quick flyer for my church. It has always been a success, and people always walk away saying, yes, I needed that information. So the next session for hashtag help series is going to be around graphics, and I'm going to be offering it in two formats. It's going to be a live session. If you're in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, you'll be able to come here with me, hang out. We have the screen projector, and we will walk through everything that you need to know. I'm going to cover 4 different sites that I use for the different designs. Matter of fact, everything I put together for a hashtag help series, I'm going to show you the sites I use to do that. And you know what, a little known fact, some people think I'm a graphic designer. I'm actually not a graphic designer. I'm a web designer, and there are 2 different skill sets. I want to make sure you're aware of that. But I have the eye for graphic design, so I want to share with you what I have, and I'm telling you, it's going to save you money, and I guarantee you it will save you time. Now, do you kick your web designer out? No. Do you kick your graphic artist out? No. But for some of the simpler things, it's going to give you the tools. It's going to empower you to do more, because graphics, people are visual, so they need to see things, and you actually need a whole lot more graphics than you think you do. On Facebook, graphics get 50% more engagement than other things. What's engagement? Likes, comments, shares, and forwards, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be offering it live here in Richmond, Virginia. If you can, in Richmond, you'll be able to come sign up for it. And then I'm going to also offer on a separate day a webinar version where you will be sitting here with me. You will be able to see the screen. You'll see everything that's going on. Guaranteed, we will not be using this platform. We'll be using an official webinar platform. So we'll have all that together. So the registration information for that, we'll be putting that out early October. We'll be putting it out sooner than that, but it will be available early October with the registration fee and all of the information that you need to sign up and get yourself ready to be take your branding up just a notch. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me here tonight on hashtag help series. I'm Sharvette Mitchell, a web designer, social media coach, and talk radio show host, and I just want to help you finish the year strong. If you have a side business, side hustle, a small business, a nonprofit, a church, whatever, I want to give you some tools and some strategies to help you finish the year strong. Finish strong. So listen, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Sharvette. I'd love to connect with you on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Mitchell Productions, and also at Sharvette as well on Facebook. Would love to have you there. I'm going to send an email out to the list of those of you that are participating on the Google Hangout, and it will have the links of any links that I shared or mentioned during the session. they will be right there for you. So you don't have to worry, hey, I missed the link, or I missed something, or the screen was black, or whatever. I'm going to make sure you have it. Thank you so much again for the chat room, for all the information. Those that are hanging out, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's been my pleasure to be with you today on #Help Series. And guess what? I'm going to see you next time. Thanks a whole bunch. Signing off, Charvette Mitchell.